Hey guys, it's Thanksgiving 2020, and if things couldn't get any stranger, today I'm going to tell you three stories out of the Bible. Now, when I tell you these stories, I'm gonna actually give you a reason why. And no, don't worry, I'm not trying to lead a flock, I'm not trying to get any money out of you, and I don't care what God you pray to. I'm just telling you this is something I've noticed, and I love you guys, so I figured y'all would like to know this and y'all can make your own decisions on what you think's going on. Now, I'm gonna set all this up so you can understand exactly what I'm talking about. You're gonna be asking me, well, why are you doing this? Guys, if you can't look around to see this is perilous times, I I don't I just cut the video off now. Where there's there's actually no reason for you to watch any further. I love you and I do not want you to waste any of your time on this video from this point on. Go ahead, I will give you a chance to log off. Get out of here. Okay, now that they're gone, let me explain something to you guys. This is you, if you're watching this, you couldn't be more surprised than me that I'm doing this. I'm trying not to stumble all over myself because I want to do all this in one clip and I want to get it out there to you so you can see what I'm saying. Why am I doing this? Okay, why am I doing this? It's 2020. At the beginning of the year, I was going to do a radio show, I was going to do a TV show, then COVID happened. Everything closed down. And like a lot of you guys, I started actually reading. I don't know if y'all did this or not, but I actually cut TVs off and stopped watching movies, ads, and all that kind of stuff, and actually done something like reading. Once I actually started reading and understanding that I could read and could decide for myself, these are some of the things that have stuck out to me, and I felt like maybe y'all would like to know these things. So with this being said, I'm going to tell y'all three stories from the Bible. One is going to set it up. I don't know about y'all, but when I was trying to do stand-up, I always wanted to emulate like George Carlin, Sam Kinison, John Belushi, Chris Farley, all them kind of things, all those kind of comics. And I love those comics. But now that I'm 42 and we're in 2020 and things looks as crazy as they're, I figured I should get sort of a different role models right now. You know what I'm saying? All of them are dead. They're not living right now. Maybe I should look for another source of inspiration. Well, I don't know about you guys, but here's the point that I can tell you just so you know where we're going with this, so it doesn't surprise you. I'm a Christian, okay? When I say I'm a Christian, I'm not a Baptist, I'm not a Presbyterian, I'm not a Catholic. I read the Bible and I follow Christ, okay? We're in agreement with that. I don't want to lead you to anywhere. I'm just telling you what I have seen, what I have went through, and you can decide for yourself what you think. Okay, now here we go. Are y'all ready? I have done a lot of things, and I have partied a lot, and I've performed stoned, drunk, high. Oh my God, you have no idea, okay? I was more comfortable doing those things than I am doing this. So just so you understand, right now I'm going to tell you stories and I'm going to tell you who's telling the story, and I'm going to set it up for you a little bit. Okay, first one, it's going to be in Luke 4. Now what you have to understand, this is when Jesus comes out of the wilderness. He's been tempted, all that. The devil's done said, all these things about taking him up to turning the rocks into food, then taking him up saying, just bow down and worship him, and then was trying to give him all kinds of stuff. Look, you get the point. He's just been tempted, okay? He's come out of the wilderness because Satan's going to leave him alone for a little while. He ain't done with him yet, but going to leave him alone for a while. So here's what I want y'all. He's coming into the synagogue, and he's back at his own hangout, guys. He's in his own town. You know, this is where his boys are. This is who he hangs out with, okay? Here we go. Comes in and, hold on a second. And look, I know I read at a 3rd grade level, so y'all just bite me if you don't like it. But otherwise, listen to the story. I'll give you the verses on there and you can follow along, or you can read it on your own, or you can turn the video off now. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. Here we go. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim the victory to captives, and the recovery of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. Now, then he closed the book and gave it back to the attendant and sat down. And all who were in the synagogue, their eyes were fixed on him. Oh my God. And he began to say to them, today the scripture is being fulfilled in your hearing. This is his town. He grew up there. They all know him. So they all bore witness to him and marveled at the miraculous words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, ain't this old Joe's boy? And by the way, do we even know that's his son? Because remember, Mary was miraculously conceived, okay? This is what they're talking about. Now, he turns around and says to them, you will surely say to me this proverb to me, physicians, heal yourself. Whatever we have heard done in Capernaum. Like I said, I'm not a professional reader, okay? Then he said, assuredly, I say to you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. But I tell you truly, many widows were in Israel in the days of Elijah. And when the heaven was shut up for 3 years and 6 months, and there was a great famine throughout the land, but no one of them Elijah was sent except Zephaniah. You can go read it and correct me on the pronunciation. I'm trying to get a point across. Okay. Who was in the region of Sidon, a woman who was a widow, and there were many lepers in Israel in the time of Elijah the prophet, and none of them were cleansed except Naaman the Samaritan. Okay? You understanding what I'm saying to you? Okay. I understand that nobody is going to believe me. I'm okay with that. I know where I stand. I'm just letting y'all know, okay? So here, we're going to go to another story. So, yeah. Now, on 18, I'm going to set it up for you. He's come back to the land. And basically, Jezebel has... she's made everybody, like, have orgies, been worshiping idols, maybe some name brands. I don't know. I wasn't back then. I'm just telling you what was written, okay? Now, then it happened when Ahab saw Elijah. Now, understand, Elijah's the one who told him this was going to happen, okay? Very important. So he says, went out to meet Elijah. Ooh. Okay. Okay, here we go. And then it happened when Ahab saw that Ahab said to him, then it happened when Ahab saw Elijah that Ahab said to him, is that you, O troubler of Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but you and your father's house, in that you have forsaken the commandments of the Lord and have followed Baals. Now, therefore, send and gather all Israel to me on Mount Carmel, the 450 prophets of Baal and 400 prophets of Sahara who eats at Jezebel's table. And Jezebel's a whore. She's the one who got everybody, doing all that kind of crazy stuff, okay? Now, okay. So Ahab sent for all the children of Israel, gathered the prophets together on Mount Carmel, and Elijah came to all the people and said, how long will you falter between two options? Sort of seems relevant, doesn't it? Just a little bit, to Can't serve two masters. We've got two presidents. Maybe this is something you should pay attention to. Okay? Now, how long will you falter between two options? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is, follow him. But the people answered him not a word. Then Elijah said to the people, I alone am left a prophet of the Lord. Yeah, I told you I read like a third grader. But the prophets of Baal are 450 men. Therefore, let them give us 2 bulls. Let them choose 1 bull for themselves, cut it into pieces, lay it on the wood, put it to no fire under it. And I will prepare another bull and lay on it the wood, but put no fire under it. Okay, so I may have stumbled around, but let me make sure you get it. He's setting up altars, one for their God, one for his God. Okay? Are we understanding each other? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay? Okay. So all the people answered and said, okay, here we go. Then you call upon the name of your gods, and I will call upon the name of the Lord. And the God who answers by fire, he is God. Answers by fire. Isn't that special? Okay. So all the people answered and said, it's well spoken. Now Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, choose 1 bull for yourselves. Prepare it first, for you are many, and call on the name of your God, but put no fire under it. So they took the bull which was given to them, and they prepared it and called on the name of Baal from morning until noon, saying, Oh, Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, and no one answered. Then they leaped about the altar which they had made. And so it was about noon. Elijah mocked them and said, cry out a little louder. He is a god. Either he's meditating, or he's busy, or he's on a journey, or perhaps he's sleeping and must be awakened. So they cried out and cut themselves, as was their custom, with knives and lances, until blood gushed out of them. Like, they were really passionate about doing this for this God. You get what I'm saying? And then when midday passed, they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice. But there was no voice, and no one answered. And mainly, no one paid attention. So when Elijah said to all the people, come on over here. So all the people came near to him, and he prepared the altar of the Lord that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the numbers of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord had come, saying, Israel shall be your name. Then with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord. And he made a trench around the altar large enough to hold 2 seeds of seed. Seeds. Okay, when you're reading it, you can pronounce it right, but you know what I'm saying. Okay? And he put the wood in order, cut the bull into pieces, laid it on the wood, and said, fill 4 water pots, and pour on the burnt sacrifice on the wood. Then he said to them, do it a second time. And he said to him, no, I'm going to do it that third time. Okay? So the water ran all around the altar, and he also filled the trench with water. And it came to pass at the time of the evening. Okay, like I said, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm excited because I want y'all to see this. Okay. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known that this day that you are God in Israel, and I am your servant, and that have done all these things at your word. Hear me, O Lord, hear me. That is, this people... Okay, I got excited. Give me a second. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that you are the Lord God, and that you have turned their hearts back to you again. Then a fire of the Lord fell down, consumed the burnt sacrifices, the wood, the stones, and the dust. It also licked up the water that was in the trench. Now when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and said, the Lord God, the Lord, he is God, the Lord, he is God. And Elijah said to them, seize all the prophets of Baal, do not let one of them escape. So they seized them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon and executed them. Then Elijah said to Ahab, go up, eat, and drink, for there is a sound of an abundance rain. Remember, they ain't had rain in like 7 years. So Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he bowed down on the ground, put his face between his knees, and said to his servant, go up now and look towards the sea. So the servant went up and looked and said, there is nothing. And 7 times he said, go again. He didn't see it on the first time. He didn't see it on the second time. He didn't see it on the third time. He didn't see it on the 4th time. He didn't see it on the 5th time. He didn't see it on the 6th time. He didn't see it till the 7th time. Then it came to pass the 7th time, he said, there is a small cloud as small as a man's hand rising out of the sea. It's a little thing, right? It's a little thing. Little thing? We can agree on. It's a little thing. So he said, go up to Ahab and prepare your chariot and go down before the rain stops you. So there hasn't been any rain in 7 years. There's a major drought, and he's telling them, go on down there. There's a little bitty cloud over on that horizon. So I want you to go over and tell everybody down there the rain's coming. Yeah. And then it came to pass that on the 7th time he said, okay, we got to that part. Now it happened in the meantime that the sky became black with clouds and wind, and there was a heavy rain. So Ahab rode away and went to Jezreel, whatever that is. Then the hand of the Lord come upon Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran ahead of Ahab in the entrance of Jezreel. Okay, like I said, I know I read like a 3-year-old, but like I said, as a 3-year-old, bite me. And here is where we're going to get to our conclusion. Okay. Are you ready for this? Okay. We are going to go to Revelation 18. After these things, I saw another angel come down from the heaven, having a great authority, and on the earth was illuminated with his glory. And he cried out mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become a dwelling place of demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hated bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and all the merchants of the earth have become rich through the abundance of her luxury. Sounds like somebody's getting paid off. Can somebody say Epstein? I wonder if that's going to be connected to the Vatican ever. Okay. I'm just saying, don't be mad at me. I'm an idiot, remember? I'm just making a video. It's going to be on Facebook and YouTube. I really don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have a degree. I don't have a bunch of people going, hey, you're my preacher. I ain't doing any of that. Don't want it. Don't send me your money. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, okay? Then I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins, and lest you receive of her plagues. For her sins have reached to heaven, and the God has remembered her iniquities. Render to her just as she's rendered to you, and repay her double according to her works. In the cup which she has mix double for her. In the measure that she glorified herself and lived out luxuriously, in the same measure give her torment and sorrow. For she says in her heart, I sit as a queen, and I am no widow, and I will not see sorrow. Therefore her plagues will come in one day. One day. I don't know about y'all, but how many times in 2020 have y'all had y'all's everything change in one day? I didn't even have to get to 2020 to have things change on me in one day. I don't know about y'all, but if y'all have, you sort of can understand what we're talking about here. So, the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived luxuriously with her will weep and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning, standing at a distance for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. Guys, you can think I'm crazy, you can think whatever you want. I'm not asking you to pay me anything. I'm not asking you anything. All I'm telling you is these are some of the questions maybe you should be thinking about. And these are 3 stories to get you started. It's your choice, guys. I've made my choice. I love y'all. Y'all decide what y'all gonna do. Peace.